All right, welcome everyone. Ready for another deep dive.
Always ready.
This time we're heading way back to ancient China, talking about legendary figures, epic battles, and a guy named Fenghou.
Ah, Fenghou. Now there's a fascinating character.
He's not exactly a household name, but maybe he should be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, from what I've read, this guy was instrumental in helping the Yellow Emperor unite China.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can't tell the story of the Yellow Emperor without talking about Fenghou. But to really get him, we need to set the scene a bit. We're talking ancient China, a land divided into all these warring tribes.
Right, constant conflict.
Yeah.
Every tribe vying for power. And smack dab in the middle of all this is the Yellow Emperor trying to bring some unity to the chaos.
Exactly. And it's not easy. He's got a lot of rivals, but his biggest challenge by far is this guy named
Qiyu. Okay, so I did a little reading about this guy, and wow, he sounds a little terrifying.
A little. He was fierce, a skilled warrior, but he was also known for something else, sorcery.
Sorcery. So we're not just talking about a powerful warlord.
Yeah.
We're talking about a guy who can control the elements, right?
You got it. The sources describe him conjuring up these impenetrable fogs, disorienting the Yellow Emperor's army, throwing them into complete chaos.
That's wild. I mean, talk about psychological warfare. You can't fight what you can't see.
Right. It was a brilliant but ruthless tactic, and for a while, it was working. The Yellow Emperor's forces were getting completely outmaneuvered.
So what changed? How did the Yellow Emperor turn the tide? That's where Fenghou comes in, right?
Exactly. Fenghou. Now, his name actually means Lord Wind.
Lord Wind. Okay, that sounds pretty significant, especially when you talk about a guy who's up against a sorcerer who can control the weather.
It is. See, Fenghou wasn't just a brilliant strategist. He was also described as having this deep understanding of nature, of the winds, the stars, the whole cosmos, almost like a mystical connection.
Okay, so we've got this chaotic scene. Yellow Emperor's army is struggling. Qiyu is controlling the weather, wreaking havoc with his fog. And then Fenghou steps onto the stage. What does he do?
Well, he knows they need to overcome this fog problem, so he comes up with something truly ingenious. The south-pointing chariot.
South-pointing chariot. Okay, I gotta admit, the name doesn't exactly scream game changer. What is it?
Imagine this. You're a soldier in the Yellow Emperor's army. You're stuck in this dense fog. You can't see your hand in front of your face. You have no idea where you are or where the enemy is. It's terrifying.
I can only imagine.
Then you see it, this chariot. And on top of it, there's this wooden figure. And no matter which way the chariot turns, the figure always points south.
Wait, are we talking about a compass? But compasses weren't invented for centuries after this period.
That's right. Fenghou essentially invented a precursor to the compass. This south-pointing chariot allowed the Yellow Emperor's forces to navigate through the fog. They could maintain formations, coordinate attacks. Shiyu's fog was no longer this impenetrable weapon of fear and confusion.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, talk about thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
But Fenghou's contributions go way beyond this chariot, right?
Yeah.
From what I understand, he also taught the Yellow Emperor about these things called celestial signs.
You're right. He taught the Yellow Emperor how to read the movements of the stars and planets, to understand the cycles of nature, and to use this knowledge for everything from predicting the weather to choosing the most auspicious times for battles.
So he brought this cosmic perspective to warfare.
Precisely. Fenghou believed that victory wasn't just about brute force, it was about aligning oneself with the forces of the universe, to be in harmony with nature.
That's fascinating. And there's more. He also created this system, the 6Jia method.
Ah, yes. The 6Jia method. A bit complex, but really ingenious. It used combinations of celestial stems and earthly branches, basically symbols representing different aspects of time and space.
Okay, I gotta be honest. That sounds pretty complicated. How did it actually work?
Well, think of it like this. By analyzing these combinations of symbols, Fenghou could anticipate enemy movements, predict their strategies, and advise the Yellow Emperor on the best course of action. It was like having a secret code to decipher the enemy's playbook.
So he's like a military strategist, an inventor, and a fortune teller, all rolled into one. That's amazing.
He was a remarkable figure, that's for sure, and his strategies worked. The Yellow Emperor, using Fenghou's guidance, eventually defeated Qiyu in a decisive battle, bringing him closer to uniting China.
Okay, so after this huge victory, I'm guessing there was a lot of celebrating. How did Fenghou react?
The Yellow Emperor, understandably, was ecstatic. He showered Fenghou with praise, thanking him for his brilliance and his contributions, but Fenghou's response was kind of surprising.
What did he say?
He basically said, look, winning battles is important, but it's not enough. True victory lies in ruling with virtue. It's about establishing justice and peace for all.
Wow. So even in this moment of triumph, he was thinking about the bigger picture.
Exactly. For him, uniting China wasn't just about conquering, it was about creating a harmonious society where everyone could flourish. And that's how he continued to serve the Yellow Emperor.
In what way?
He taught him astronomy, helped establish calendars, contributed to the development of cultural institutions. His influence extended far beyond the battlefield.
So Fenghou, this mysterious sage, not only helped win battles, but also helped shape the very foundations of Chinese civilization.
He was a visionary leader in a time of turmoil. Someone who understood that true victory isn't just about power, but about wisdom, compassion, and creating a just world.
It definitely makes you think, right? I mean, what does leadership look like today? Are we focused on winning at all costs, or, like Fenghou, are we thinking about creating a more just and harmonious world?
That's the question, isn't it? Something for all of us to ponder.
A lot to think about. Thanks for taking us on this deep dive. Really fascinating stuff.
Anytime. Always happy to delve into these ancient stories. They have a lot to teach us, even today.